Greetings everyone, my name is Jonathan Bailey. I am from the website Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. Click this area here in order to learn more about what I do elsewhere on the web. But today I want to talk about an issue that's a minor conflict of interest for me, and that is the Matthew Santoro plagiarism scandal. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are cross with me for talking about this, but I would like to come out and say first and foremost, I actually really do like Matthew Santoro's channel. I've subscribed to it for some time now. I don't know exactly how long, and I'm not the type of guy that usually likes a lot of clickbaity stuff, which, let's be honest, he does do. But lizard brain like useless facts, so useless fact lizard brain gets. But anyways, we've had a pretty interesting story come up this past week, and actually it's sort of the third emergence of this exact story. Sometime back in the middle of 2015 is when it first was observed by a poster to our rant on Reddit. I'll provide a link to that in the description. And then it came up again later in 2015 with some YouTubers raising the same issue, and then finally it got my attention and apparently a lot of other people's attention too when Grade A Under A did a video that discussed this exact issue. Now, Matthew Santoro, the allegations against Matthew Santoro actually involve a couple of videos. Admittedly, not like a huge amount in terms of the library of content he has put out there, but more than a few. But for this video, we're focusing on just one, the one that I believe where the evidence is most convincing of a problem. Now, so let's take a look at the allegations. Basically, in November 2014, Santoro uploaded a video about 10 people who got famous through weird or otherwise odd reasons. And that's not necessarily suspicious by itself, but a few days prior, Listverse had posted an article on the same topic. And well, let's take a look at this still from Grade A Under A's video here, and you'll see why it's kind of suspicious. They had the exact same 10 people in the exact same order, and Grade A Under A, I believe, calculated the odds of this happening to be something like 1 in 3 million. But I think it's actually far, far greater than that, because there are hundreds of people who have gotten famous, hundreds, thousands, possibly infinite number of people that have gotten varying degrees of fame for weird reasons. And yeah, the odds of the same 10 people being chosen in the same order are just completely astronomical, or maybe economical, as some astronomers wish we would refer to the higher numbers. The point of this is it's pretty clear what's going on here, and it gets more clear when you take a look at how parts of the video, it looked like it was using the actual article as a script, which is pretty unnerving. So yeah, it's pretty obvious where it came from. Now, Grade A Under A was kind of coy. He was a little scared of being too, in your face and being sued, so allow me to help here, Grade A. I am someone who has been used as an expert witness in plagiarism trials, both in academic settings and in legal settings. I have submitted multiple expert witness testimony, expert witness reports. I have testified on on plagiarism matters. I am, by most accounts at least, a reasonable expert. I'm not like the expert, I don't think, but I've got some muster, here's what I'm saying. And yes, my personal belief is that this is plagiarism. However, I do think Santoro has a bit of an out here, and I would like to go to the credits of the video in question where he posted this. Now, no, it's not an attribution of Listverse or the Listverse article author, but it is saying it was written and edited by Matthew Santoro, Jim Valen, and Brock Summer. Now, it's a real possibility that Matthew Santoro himself did not commit this plagiarism, that it was someone under his employ or care. Now, that being said, Santoro, as the person in front of the camera, as the name, as the guy who runs the channel, has the obligation to maintain the ethics and the standards of that channel. But still, it is possible that Santoro was just simply misled by someone under his employ or someone he was working with. And we need to know that. Now, I actually just finished recording a version of this video. I went to go get some images for the thumbnail, and then learned that Matthew Santoro had recently published this on his Twitter feed. I'll leave it up here, basically saying, hey y'all, I read your feedback and I hear you loud and clear. Tonguey outy face. Beginning today, I'm going to start citing my sources in the description of each video so you can read and learn more and da-da-da-da-da. Basically, it's a promise to go back and A, cite all of his previous videos, and B, to cite all the future ones. Now, that raises a really interesting question of why wasn't that the norm to begin with? And more specifically, we still don't know what happened with the video in November of 2014 that everyone's asking all these questions about, including Grade A. We don't know. And until Santoro more directly responds to what happened on this video, it's going to kind of needle at him. And honestly, I think it's kind of worrisome that it took this kind of public outcry to motivate a very prominent YouTuber, one who says he really values creativity and really worships, that spark. That he wasn't attributing and crediting the authors and the people he was pulling from. It's very, very sad. I'm glad he's going to be doing it going forward. It means I will have less guilt if I do continue to enjoy his channel. I haven't made a decision whether or not I'm going to unsubscribe. Others have made that decision and have unsubscribed. I have not personally made that decision yet. But yeah, it's very, very frustrating that it took this to get him to attribute this. And I think this is one of the things, while we're in the midst of having these really great and really important discussions about where's the fair use and about how, how YouTube can do better to protect people who make legitimate use of others' work, we need to have a conversation about what form that legitimate use should take and the rules for attribution on YouTube, because this is still a fairly new media. While sure, big TV stations and so forth have their rules of attribution, YouTube is still kind of figuring a lot of this out. And that's just the honest truth here. So here's hoping that this story, at the very least, provides some good grounds for conversation about attribution on YouTube, and maybe my video and videos like this will help Matthew Santoro reach the decision to actually directly address this and not just make a vague promise to attribute everything going back and going forward. So here's hoping we get some better answers, and here's hope that a great conversation emerges from this. But on that note, everyone, that's my time for now. This is Jonathan Bailey signing off. I will see you guys next time.